Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on just an 18-year-old from Sheffield, England, a staple and legend in Sheffield, coming up with the Sheffield Steelhawks, Scimitars, Titans, and the Stormers. That's the Sheffield Stormers, folks, not to be mistaken for the chocolatey Manchester Storm. He didn't just play with the under-18 Steelhawks, he ran amok, becoming a champion of England, and in 21-22 had the best save percentage in the league at .925. And that same season was named to Team GB and promptly won a bronze medal. He was just named to Team GB for the upcoming under-20 World Championships, but he seems like an obvious choice as he has got to be the youngest goalie mucking it up in the EIHL and just made his first appearance in between the pipes this season at just 18 years of age for the chocolatey Manchester Storm. Welcome to my shed, Alex Oldale.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I get into how we know each other. A Storm supporter,
Yeah,
someone in the Storm family wrote to me and said, Alex Oldale's a shed guy. He's going out of his way to sign pucks for kids. I like that type of stuff. Good work.
got to get it in the shed.
Right. So pretty exciting times around Manchester. I hear you guys are the buzz of the town. Your last game was sold out. Chocolate is pretty fun, isn't it?
Chocolate flying from every direction.
That's hockey. Hey, that's pretty fun. That started from chatting in my
Yeah,
shed. Have you seen the back of Critch's jersey? Have you seen my logo on his jersey? Because it'll get you hot and bothered.
of course. It was one of the first things I noticed actually
Really? Because it's cool. Like, because that'll
when
make your heart want to pop when you see it from my side of like where this started to where we're at now. Heartwarming stuff.
of course.
Yeah. So, geez, I've had on some kids, but you're 18 years old. You got to be one of the youngest professional hockey players I've ever had to the shed.
Well, it's an honor to be here. I can say that for sure.
Well, that's cool. So I get into how we know each other. Nice to meet you. You know,
Nice to meet you too.
yeah, slipping one in on lunch hour here, right? We got to hustle.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of you signing those pucks for the kids, is I got a raffle at aleshockeytales.com of five Ryan O'Reilly signed pucks to raise money. And might help me even sponsor the Manchester Storm, who I believe you pay for. So you people could win like a Hall of Famer signed puck and support their chocolatey Storm, right?
It's
That's
a
hockey.
win-win
Yeah, isn't it? Get your tickets, folks,
for
at
sure.
aleshockeytales.com. And you're from Sheffield, so the other raffle we have up is the new captain of Sheffield's t-shirt that he's sweating, and then he got all his teammates to sign it with him. And we're raffling that off for Rich Bateman's Road to Recovery. And that's also at aleshockeytales.com. So if you support the Storm or the Orange, right? And there's a rumor that you may have grown up an Orange fan. Is this true?
It might have been when I was younger. You got to
Got to
you
adapt, right?
watch hockey by any means, I suppose. So
Well, what were you
it
supposed to
might
do?
have been
Not cheer for them when
Sheffield.
it's your hometown, right?
Yeah,
Oh dear. I understand, but things change, right?
yeah, definitely,
hmm and I guess you guys just played them, and it sounded like a wild atmosphere in the storm shelter. Sold out, eh?
definitely. To be honest with you, the even the atmosphere that the Storm fans brought to Sheffield's place,
Yeah,
like you could hear the Storm fans cheering like just as loud, despite the fact that they had however many more fans in there that didn't cover it up. Like you could
I
hear them
understand.
singing.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. That the away fans can be louder, even if there's less of them.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
So you did just get named. Actually, you know what? We should just ask you right now. What is your favorite chocolate bar?
Favorite chocolate? Oh, I'm a Twix man. I
Are
like a
you
Twix.
really? Jeez.
Uh,
We've
if I
done
get the
Twix
chance
before in the
to,
shed. I don't know if you knew this, but in Herning, Denmark, they chuck Twix on the ice at the goalie for winning now. For real.
it sounds perfect.
Right? Yeah. Twix are
Mhm.
are good, and let's see if we can bring the Twix to match, right? To the chocolatey storm,
Hopefully.
right? After next
Yeah,
win,
for
let's
sure.
see some Twix, folks. Right? Get
Mhm.
involved. um,
Definitely.
so you gotta be the youngest goalie in the league, then, eh?
Yeah. So Nottingham last season had a pretty young goalie, Matty Bloor. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, and
Mm,
they've got Lucas Sheldon as well. He's not too old, but as it stands for now, I'm the youngest goalie. So
yeah, that's
yeah, it's
pretty neat, man. Well done.
yeah, it's
Congratulations. That should be a
thank you.
feather in your cap, you know?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So how did it all go down then? Because obviously you had been on Manchester's radar, but how do you end up in Manchester?
So last season was my first senior year of hockey, and I played for the Blackburn Hawks, which are a couple of leagues below the Storm. But the head coach in Blackburn, he had like a pretty good contact with Matt Ginn and Ryan Finnerty. So it
Ginner and
ended
Finner.
up where, yeah, uh, it ended up that I was able to come and train with the Storm a little bit last season, which was absolutely amazing. Like it was for the experience and more like a personal development for me as opposed to like
But like, and I
helping.
say this though in hockey is like, it doesn't matter where you're skating or what rink you're on or who you're skating with. You're basically always trying out in hockey world because people talk and it's like you go to those skates and you show what's up and then all of a sudden you're on their team, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it went.
Yeah. Well, you never know when you're skating somewhere and like if you're working hard and trying hard, you never know who's watching. Doesn't matter where you are, you know?
Well, I think it's important that you leave it on the ice, like you said, wherever you are. That hockey is kind of you're always trying out because there's always somebody, even if they're not there with the intention of watching you directly. If you're working hard enough, then it's bound to catch someone's eye, whether that's just one of the guys that you're skating with, or the coach, or just someone passing by that happens to see you. If you put in all the work in and putting the effort in, then I suppose it
Uh,
comes to show eventually.
I agree. And shed guys know shed guys, and people respect guys that work hard and are like good dudes. And that's how all this works for me. And I've realized how the hockey world works is it's all who you know, what people are gonna say when the phone rings and they're like, hey, what do you think about Alex Oldale or Brent Walton? And it's whatever that person says, whether or not you get paid more, get paid less, whether they want you, whether they don't want you, it's all what that person says about you, right?
Well, yeah, to a certain degree, yeah.
Well, and then it also, I guess,
Uh,
matters how you play, right? Whether or not you stop pucks.
well, yeah, you kind of have to stop the pucks at some point, but
Yeah.
uh,
And if you're
yeah,
5'8"
it's
and a
always
bit fat, you got to score some goals.
yeah.
Seriously. But anyways, you did just get named to Team GB under 20. That must have been an exciting day. So do you find out the same way I do? All of a sudden, it just posts on social media?
Yeah, essentially. So you obviously go and do the skate, and it's like over a couple of days, and you do the practices, and then you kind of just get the email to say whether you're team like long list or like unfortunate to
Right.
not
If you're
make it.
still in the
But
mix or not.
yeah, kind of that kind of idea, and then out of nowhere, it just gets slapped all over social media, and it's out there. So
Yeah.
it kind of happens pretty quickly, but it's
So then it is just based on like they announce it and all of a sudden here we go. Like I just found out too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's interesting because I guess it's the same as like when guys sign with teams. I mean, I I guess I almost leaked the Devils signing a guy a week or two ago. And like I know of another guy now that signed somewhere and it's not announced and it's nowhere except that I know about it. And it's like maybe that's why they're doing that with you guys is so that you can't tell anybody because I know
Yeah,
way too much in my shed, man.
yeah. What's known in the shed stays in the shed.
Well, I gotta be careful, right? But someone might be going
Mhm.
to Romania. That's a shed guy. That's all I know, right? Rumor
Think it
mill.
might be best to, yeah.
It's not a rumor, it's real though.
It can be a
Anyways,
rude.
I just don't want to get in trouble for saying too much, right? You got to know what you're talking about, and I don't want to get in trouble by telling people secrets. So, whenever it's announced, it's announced.
Yeah.
So Twix, eh? Pretty excited to see you get a Twix at just 18 years old. That'd be neat, eh? Kids at 18 like
I'm
chocolate.
I think Twix is it's a pretty standard answer, but you can't go wrong.
Twix are
Just a,
good. Kit Kats are good. I mean, they're standard, but they're good. And
it's
so rumor has it you guys are playing the Cardiff Devils this weekend. So that
we are.
that's something else because obviously you see my Devils jerseys behind me, and I am a Devil, and that's why the shed exists. So it's gonna be an interesting weekend to watch. I just want everybody to have fun and compete. But what I was thinking, just when I think out loud, is we want to get that back with Mosey. So if say the Devils ended up earning it at home, and you guys want to make it rain Kit Kats in Cardiff, totally cool with the shed. Because fun is fun, and if they earn it, they earn it. And then there could also be a chocolate storm if Manchester wins, right? Because whoever earns it should get it, right? Fun is fun. Hockey's supposed to be fun.
I'm hoping the chocolate storm lands on our side of the ice, but
Right.
it's friendly competition, I think.
Well, and it's whoever earns it, folks. Let's just all have fun, right? And security guards, get
Yeah.
your hands off my shed family, right? Let them bring in the Twix. We don't need to be putting anything up our roosters, up our rears just to
Hands
get them
off the
into the
Twix
barn,
as
right?
well.
Yeah, they might not taste
Yeah,
as good if people have to put them up their keister. So let's just let them come in with the chocolate, and then let's have fun this weekend, right? Shed family, right? Make it rain.
definitely.
Yeah, that'd be
Uh-huh.
fun, just in my opinion. So where and what are you doing now? I ask everybody that.
Right now,
Yeah.
I am I'm at home currently. I'm just
What does home mean? Like
relaxing
with
for
your
the afternoon. We had
parents?
a No, so home for me now. Well, it's weird because actual home is an hour away from here, which isn't far in like terms of travel. But home for me now is in sunny Manchester. Uh,
Yeah, it is.
Kind of just taking an easy afternoon. We had a skate this morning, and
Who's
then
you got a
straight back
roommate?
at it again tomorrow. Pardon?
You got a roommate?
Yeah, so there's a few guys in this house that I'm in, but it's a good laugh,
Yeah.
definitely.
I and there's a bunch of younger fellows too, all single guys running mucks or what?
Yeah, something like that.
That's funny. Good stuff. Well, you guys have a younger team, eh? That could be fun.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of young guys on the team actually. Kind of there's sort of me and Connor Lee. I'm sure you've heard that name around.
He's even younger than you,
Yeah, he's 16,
and he's on a
so
professional
he's
hockey team.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm.
Hmm. He's
Hey,
living
he
there
puts
with
the
you.
work in though.
Do you guys need like adult supervision at these ages?
We
Should you
do when
guys
we're
be with
cooking.
billets? But
Yeah,
seriously,
we
18
could
year
use.
olds are usually with billets and 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
You guys must be having fun living on your own. Who cooks?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I've started to cook. I'm trying my best, but
Yeah, because I sucked at cooking at that age, man.
I still suck at cooking right now. But we're getting there. It's a learning curve, I
It
think.
it
It's all
is,
part of the
yeah. And then
experience.
once you start running amok at it, you can really get into it, right? People enjoy what they're good at,
Hmm.
and cooking's a good challenge.
All sorts of dishes.
I did get pretty versatile over my time after going to Europe. It was so boring in Voyance, Denmark, I got right into cooking just to keep myself entertained.
Spice things up.
Yeah. So your goalie partner is a shed guy, and he currently has the best goals against and save percentage or something in the league. He's the top goalie if you look up the website there. Evan Weniger. What a
Yeah,
beauty he is, eh?
of course. We make a good goalie tandem. I learn from him. He enjoys teaching me different things, and it's always good to. I think it's important to not only have a good bond on the ice with not just the full team, but goalies especially, like there's only two of us at the end of the day, so to have that good relationship on and off the ice, I
Totally
find is
agree.
really important. And he's a class guy. I couldn't find anything bad to say about him.
I found the same when I talked to him in the shed that he's an absolute dandy. And when he spoke of like goalie partners he'd had in the past, I can tell he's learned from other people of who he doesn't want to be and try to be the best, like
Yeah,
older brother type guy to you, right? And teach you some shit. But it's the same as like line mates. I always tried to have the best relationship with my line mates because it's important, right?
yeah, definitely. You gotta build them strong bonds, and if you can get on with the guys off the ice, it just makes it a whole lot easier on the ice.
Sure does. Yeah. And you want to do more for each other, when you care about each
Yeah,
other.
definitely. It makes you want to work for those guys as well as yourself.
So, has anybody ever said anything to you about how many games you may get in, or is it like we don't know, you're just going to practice every day working hard?
It's kind of like an as and when sort of idea, I suppose. I'm more than happy to snatch any amount of game time that I can get, but I think for me this year, it's kind of learning to live a sort of the professional side of hockey.
Yeah.
Having like with it being my rookie year, it's always kind of been practice a couple of times a week, maybe like go to the gym in your own time, get yourself to the games. So I think this year it's important that I soak it all in and turn up every day, work my hardest every day, and gather
Yeah.
as much information off as many people as I can, and sort of widen my knowledge on living the life as a pro hockey player as opposed to just playing it for the sake of playing, I
You're
suppose.
pretty grown up for an 18-year-old. Did you know that? You're pretty smart. Smarter than I was at 18.
Uh,
But
I
yeah,
didn't have a
but like
choice when I moved to
well, like your practices now, right? I know you played with like the adults last year in the NIHL, but like your practices with Manchester this year, when you get little Santy coming in on you and ripping shots and Heinem and all the shed guys, like it's gonna make you better facing those shots every day, right?
Yeah, you're bound to see improvement. I think it's inevitable that you get some sort of gain from it, whether that be you get a little bit quicker on your feet or your reactions, just all aspects of the game. I suppose you'll find that over time, if you pushed out of your comfort zone and you work hard enough while you're out of that comfort zone, you'll find as you get more comfortable, you settle in, and I suppose that's how you improve and get better.
I agree. You better watch what you're doing with your hands down there. Stop playing with your tallywhacker. I can hear it.
No,
So
I'm trying to move my
yeah, you gotta don't be getting all
laptop because it's
handsy on
burning my
me.
legs.
Don't be getting all handsy on me.
No,
But
never in the shed.
you did
Don't do that in the shed.
you did get into a real game so far, a Challenge Cup game, it said. Is that right?
Yeah, that was in Sheffield. I saw the last few minutes of the third period, which was unreal.
So
Just
you got your
the
pro
atmosphere and
debut was in your hometown in Sheffield. That's cool.
yeah, it meant a lot to me. Like away from the sport for that to happen in my hometown. Like all my family was there at the game, supporting the Storm, of course.
Yeah,
But
that's hockey.
to be able to be able to get that game time in front of like all my family and friends, and I think it was a big thing for me. Like I took away from that game that hockey's more than just playing the sport on the ice and going home. It becomes a lifestyle. Like to go home and like I called home to my parents and like rang like wider family and friends, and they were all saying, "Oh, we saw you on the ice. We saw you on the ice," and it means a lot. And especially when you come away from the rink and kind of like you settle back down and the adrenaline and the hype of the game wears off. For me, it stayed with me for like a few hours longer than
That's
like
cool.
what any other game that I've played in the past.
Well, and that's what you realize too when you get older and like when you are out the other side of the game is like the impact pro hockey players can have on kids, right? It's like you had that experience for yourself, but then that the person that sent me the picture of you signing those pucks for the kids and he mentioned how much it meant to those kids. It's like some kids can go to a hockey game and watch the game and enjoy it, but like when they get that interaction with the player, or they get something signed or they get a picture, like they go home and they're buzzing and they don't forget about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think that stuff with the fans is just as important as I suppose anything else that you do around the rink, because at the end of the day, those people take time out of their own days, whether they go to work, like whatever they do in the spare time, they're designating that few hours a weekend, or if we've got a midweek game, like people finish work and come straight to the rink. So if
And
there's a five
that's their
minute slot that
spending
I can
money. Their
spend,
spending money is on
yeah, yeah,
supporting you guys. Yeah. Think
yeah,
about how
definitely.
much
So
money has been
I
spent in
think it's
chocolate.
all the Twix bars, all to be thrown at us at the end of the game.
But seriously, yeah, if you start adding up how much money's been spent in chocolate around the world, because we talked to my sheds, like Matt Carruth, the goalie inheriting Denmark, we figure that he's seen tens of thousands of Twix bars. Serious. That's a lot of money, folks.
Couldn't
Keep it
think of
up. Keep
anything
up the
better.
good work. Keep
Tens of
supporting
thousands of
fun.
Twixes. Yeah,
But anywho, yeah, it makes sense though, and you got to take care of those people. And then it's like the same as like trying to get kids out to learn how to golf now or play hockey is like that's the people of the future. And it's like you take care of the young kids around Manchester now. In 10 years, all of a sudden Manchester could be a better hockey team because all those kids became hockey guys,
yeah, definitely. And you never know who you're speaking to or who's watching you. So for you to just take a couple of minutes to give back, like it doesn't need to be a like ridiculous amount, but I
It
think the
doesn't take
little
a lot.
things,
No, just a little interaction.
yeah, like 30 seconds to take a photo, like it's not a lot of time in it. You know that it'll mean a lot to somebody, so it's definitely a big aspect for me personally, just to make sure that you find time to give back.
Yep, I hear you. So let's see here. I've had a bunch of
Mm.
your fellows on from the team, but you know what I noticed was the picture you sent me of you and your Manchester Storm, like in a game, is it said Sam Bell's logo right behind you on the boards too. He's a shed guy too. So you working out with him?
Yeah,
Shed guys are
uh,
everywhere.
yeah. There's sort of names of people everywhere, so you bump into guys eventually at some point. So yeah, I guess
So I don't know if you guys are training with him again, but Sam Bell came on last year. He was like the worker outer guy. But anyways, then Critch just came on, mucked it up again, and that's so cool having my logo on his jersey. It just makes me laugh every time I see it,
yeah.
It's about as hockey as it gets, folks. I got to be the first podcast in
Mm.
the world, I think, to sponsor professional hockey player. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, right? Groundbreaking
First and the
stuff.
best. Hmm.
Anyways, and then Martin, he's a rookie too, eh? Kind of like yourself.
Yeah, he's actually in the room next to me.
Oh, really? Does he live in there too? So I've already been to
uh,
this
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah. Me
Ah,
and Marty, we're we're good buddies. He enjoys to come and play NHL and just burst in the room and demand that he beats me on NHL a few times, and then kind of don't see him for the rest of the night until the morning after.
you guys are bringing back memories. I remember being that young once. Not that young anymore. So, how about Finner? Is he like just the big scary suit guy now, where like he just walks around like he owns the place, or does he still talk to you guys? Is he still one of the
No,
guys, or is he a suit?
yeah, nah. I think he's still one of the guys.
Is he?
He what he comes across like when you speak to him, it's not like intimidating, or if you've got any worries or problems, like you don't feel it's easy to speak to, in a sense that like I know that I could just contact him and be like, Finners, I've got a problem or I need something, and he's brilliant. I think you could say that about the same thing for all the staff at Storm, like everything from the coaches to the physios, like back to Finners. They all have a purpose, obviously, and a job to do, but on a level of like being your friend as much as your boss, kind of thing. And I think it's a good balance that everyone has at the store.
That makes sense. Then guys buy in and happy hockey players play better. But fun fact
Yeah,
is when Finner came on, there's a story, like I always say, shed guys know shed guys. The George brothers, who are legends in Cardiff, who never played hockey, they have a story of when he was in Cardiff, and they were out for the night. They went into his apartment while they were still out and moved everything around, like moved the kitchen to the bedroom to the kitchen, like moved it all around on him. So when he came home, his whole apartment was changed. I think it sounds like fun is fun, you know.
yeah,
Uh,
can imagine that taking a few hours to correct as well.
yeah, and then like it's just funny because now he's the, like, whatever he is, GM, owner, whatever he is of the team, like, to think of him back as one day being like, you guys just having fun and being a hockey guy, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's at a different stage in their life, right?
Hmm.
Um, so another goalie that looked like he crossed paths with you quite a bit is somewhat with my old team, Cardiff, Ben Norton. He seems to be he's on the U20 team with you again. He was on like an under 15 Sheffield team with you. It seems like you guys have crossed paths a lot, eh?
Yeah, I've known Ben for however many years it's been, maybe 6 years now. I've always got along with him. We've been on the same team. He's been abroad. Like we'll go for like a year gap where we don't see each other, and then out of nowhere it'll be like we're back again, and then we're
Yeah.
straight back into it. And then
Well, it seems like you guys are
I'll
like
go
the
off
top
and
goalies your age in the UK. So you're gonna probably keep crossing paths, right?
yeah, yeah, at some point. But he's a good guy. He's a well, like you said, he's a good goalie. We can learn off each other. We can push each other. Bit of friendly competition never hurt anyone. Like we're
Yeah,
trying to better each other and be better than each other at the same time. So it's a good relationship that we have.
that's cool. So how did you get into hockey?
It started off. I used to play roller hockey. I don't know if that's like a
Yeah,
thing that you hear a lot from hockey players.
I played a lot of roller hockey
I started with
myself.
the roller hockey. Yeah, yeah, it's a fun sport.
It sure is. Yeah.
Uh, so I started off with the roller hockey, and then I kind of, when I was maybe 13, I wanted to like get a little bit more serious with it, and I'd always watched ice hockey even when I played roller hockey, so I knew the idea of it, and like
You
obviously
started
just
ice
changing out the
hockey when you were what age?
I made the transition at 13.
You made the transition to ice hockey at 13 and you're playing professional at 18?
Yeah, this is my sixth season of ice hockey that we're in now.
Jeepers. That's pretty impressive. And I actually think it's kind of funny because of all the people you hear about that like think their kid needs to go AAA and under 9 or under 8 or under 11, and like everybody needs to go to all these places right away when they're kids. And it's like, actually, who's going to be good is going to be good, you know?
Yeah, so it's never left sort of the Sheffield area until last year. Played my first senior year at Blackburn, and then now I'm here with the Storm. So I've
It's
not
all
been
happened
very far
fast, eh?
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It all kind of came at once.
So I guess now that you like are gonna have EIHL games on your resume and whatnot, you ever think about like going junior abroad or like I know it'll be harder this season to get much ice time with Wenny in net. And but like I know there's a bunch of British players that try to go abroad in their junior years, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's something that as a junior, like not just me, it's something that everyone thinks about just because of the amount of guys that go and do it. It's like
It's an
you think,
experience,
oh,
right?
I could get the experience, try it for a year, but I never really followed through with it. I've always kind of just been a close to home guy, sort of played locally, but it's something that I want to be able to try one day. But for now, it's not really what I'm thinking about. I'm more
Right.
than happy where I am,
And I
and
think you should be,
um,
and I think it's probably a better setup where you're doing and playing against
yeah,
professionals every day. It's like my
definitely,
buddy that's in Cardiff, Josh Batch, like he had only played like junior B hockey somewhere in like California. And then all of a sudden he joins the Cardiff Devils and like the progress he must have made just jumping into the EIHL, practicing with pros every day, practicing with the imports every day, and like the GB guys, and like then all of a sudden he's making Team GB and he's like a staple of the team, and yeah, you got to just jump right into it, right?
yeah, definitely, and like the amount of guys that you have, for instance, like in the elite league where we are now, it's there's guys that have played everywhere, so you get different play styles come in. Like with Santeri, he's played in Finland, and then you've got Winnie that's played
All over.
everywhere. Uh, just there's a lot of guys that like and Andreas, he's played in Norway, so you get bits of different games, and uh, I feel like there's no point in me flying out to the different places to play it when they come to you where you are.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, and it is every place plays differently, and where you're brought up in the game makes you who the player you are a lot of times too. But yeah, like Finland plays different than Germany. Germany plays different than the UK. It's Norwegian hockey is totally different, and then like Danish hockey, it's all different.
yeah. I think it's good to have that mix though, because then you get guys that have mastered the game in one place, and then you get guys that come over from another place, and it's like, well, I can teach you how to do this, you teach me how to do that, and then all of a sudden you've got a guy that can expand his game to different play styles, and
Oh
you
yeah.
you all learn off each as much as you learn off like the coach and the drills that you're doing. I think a lot of it is learning off of each other as well, because for something that you might not be as good at, there'll be a guy that's brilliant at it, and for something that you might be brilliant at, there'll be a guy that wants to learn it. So
Well, and like
I think it's
having
important to
it's not just learning from each other, but competing with each other, right? Like when you're competing with guys better than you or can do things you haven't seen before, then you see them execute it and you're like, oh, maybe I should try that someday.
yeah, definitely. Well, like kind of like what I said earlier about the coming out the comfort zone thing. If you've got a guy that's unreal at something and you're maybe not confident, just go for it. Like try it, and if you
Yeah.
don't do it the first time, do it the second time, and if you like,
It'll
just keep
come,
going
right? It's
until you
like
can
trying to
do
speak German. You just don't get frustrated. You got to keep trying.
it. Yeah,
Oh, I
calm and
totally get it
collected.
though. Yeah. But like the team Great Britain, I don't know how old you would have been through. I guess you would have been pretty young. Like when Bouncy, who's a Sheffield boy, my buddy, that is like backstopping Team GB to gold medals, and you got Jono's the captain of Sheffield. You may or may not have rooted for them in the past. Like it must have been pretty neat to see Team Great Britain do what they've done.
Yeah, it was like sitting at home watching it on the TV. It was kind of like sat on the edge of the sofa, and especially in the gold medal, like when they were on set to win gold, it was like it got very real. Like I grew up watching those guys and like seeing them just play at club level, and then all of a sudden you whack them all in one team, and they're about to win their
Oh,
group of the world championships, and
and they've done it a couple
it's
times now.
yeah, yeah. Well, same concept for each time, I guess. It's kind of that on the edge of your seat. Like I've watched these people play like
Yeah.
right in front of you, and now you're seeing them all together on the ice in your country's jersey.
Well, and that's what
bringing
was
home
cool for
goals.
me, right? Is like they're my buddies that I played against and was competing with, and then you come home and you're done hockey, but you can be like, I know those guys, and they're playing on TSN right now, and like they were my
Yeah,
teammates.
yeah, yeah. It's I get what you're saying for sure.
But yeah, no, and then just a reminder, folks, Dowdy's on that team too, and he's got a signed Steelers t-shirt that smells like him. Raffle at aleshockeytales.com and the O'Reilly pucks, right? Poster picks. um, you got good looking pads and blocker and glove with the Manchester outfit there. Good color combo there with the colors of your pads and blocker really go with the jersey, I thought. Well done.
Yeah, last season I wasn't really too much in. It was the first set of customs I got, and I don't know if you've seen. I had the bright blue CCMs. So for me to come to Storm this year and sort of be in the matching uniform, shall we say, feels good to
Right.
like look good, feel good,
Play
kind
good.
of vibe.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're looking for. I was just digging it. So then
Mhm.
who's the guy in the picture of you? You're having a pint, Coors Light. Is that your old man?
Yeah, that is biggest supporter as well, probably alongside my mum and my grandparents and my dad. As a four, they follow me anywhere with it. But that photo that you're talking about, that's my old man in there.
Well, in Canada, you're not even allowed to drink at 18 years old, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, be sure to state that that pint was drank in the UK of
Yeah.
age.
I never had a beer before I was 19, that's for sure.
Yeah, never.
No. So then what's the picture of a plane? You took a picture of a wing of a plane. Where are you going? What are you doing?
I was that was in the summer. I decided to take a break in Spain, just enjoy the sun and the sand.
Hmm.
I'm a big travel guy. I like sightseeing. I'm all about seeing
Different
wherever I
parts of the
go. I'll
world.
always make time to get to know the area that you're in. I don't like to just
Sit at a
sit in my
hotel.
room or
Yeah.
sit in the rink. Like I like to get out and about. So like even when I come to Manchester on like the first couple of days, I was straight into the city, like seeing what there is to see, I suppose.
Yeah, you gotta live. Yeah. And then
Hmm.
yeah, so I guess that makes sense for a couple of the other ones. One's you're hiking and you're like on top of a big rock. Eh? What?
Yeah, that's right next to Manchester. Actually, I kind of thought that fit with the Manchester vibe. So I'm a big hiking and walking guy. Again, to go with the sightseeing
Well, yeah, it keeps you fit and active
kind of
too, right?
vibe.
Then another one of your
Yeah,
poster
yeah.
pics brought back memories, though. It's a you out hiking again, but you don't have a top on, and you got the blue tape on you. I remember having the blue tape all over me. The blue
Yeah,
tape for every muscle
every
injury.
other week.
Yeah,
Yeah, every time there's something different, and you get the tip out.
the blue tape. Yeah, right down. And then it's
Yeah,
pulling that shit off afterwards, right? That sucks,
that's the that's more painful. Whatever you're taping up probably isn't as painful as taking the tape off.
right? Yeah, there's no hair left when you're done.
No, the clean wax strip.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I know all about the blue tape.
Yeah,
Yeah, then I guess it's the same similar vibe. You like being outdoors and doing shit, but you're outside eating a thin crust pizza type deal. Where's that?
that was in a little restaurant. Thought I'd treat myself to the pizza. Just I'm a I'm a bit of a food guy, I suppose, despite the fact that I can't really cook. I
That's okay, yeah. You don't have to be the one to cook it
I
to
love
eat it.
I love a good pizza on the days that I can get away with it.
Well, that was a
So
thin crust. That wouldn't even do anything to you. That's healthy for you. Thin crust.
yeah, we'll go with healthy.
Yeah.
It's got tomato on there too, right? That's got to be healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I ate a lot of pizzas while I was in Europe. Good pizza game over there.
Yeah,
So what's the poster pick? Actually, where was the waterfall there with the blue tape then?
that was in the Peak District, which is again, it's kind of the no man's land between Sheffield and Manchester, and
Okay.
one of my buddies from over in Sheffield. We kind of just got in the car one day and decided to walk as far as we could walk, and then we found that place, and
You just
there
found
was
that
a
randomly? You
couple of
weren't
other
meaning to
people
go
there.
there?
No, we were just walking through the hills, and we stumbled across it, and there were a couple of people there already, and they were swimming in there, just like natural cold water swimming.
Yeah,
So we stripped it down to the shorts and jumped straight in.
makes sense to me. Okay, what's the poster pick? I think this is
Hmm.
last season with Blackburn. Is that a Halloween picture? Halloween parties are awesome.
The is it the one with the that's actually my brother. So I don't know if you can see
Is that your
this
brother?
poster up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my brother's on there, so somewhere on there. But he's a paratrooper, so that night there was for Remembrance Night, and Blackburn brought him on as a special guest, and he did like the puck drop, and when we
See, I thought that
did
was a
the national
Halloween
anthem, he stood.
costume.
No, no, he's a paratrooper.
He's an actual paratrooper. Wow, I was way off.
Yeah, yeah, the real deal.
Holy shit, eh? So he's the older brother?
Yeah,
Paratrooper.
yeah,
Jeepers.
he's 24 now.
Huh.
Hmm.
Well, that's cool. So you do you get to see him much then, or is he
Yeah,
gone
he's
a lot?
not for me. I see him as often as I can, but he obviously lives on base. He's just had a daughter brought into the world. Actually, bless her. Uh, so he's kind of caught up with the dad duties at the minute. So seeing him's a little bit of a struggle, but I've met my niece a couple of times on the occasions when he's come up and brought her with him. So it's nice to see the family that like aren't necessarily directly at home when I go home to like visit my parents, kind of thing. But
Mhm.
I see him around. I speak to him a lot as well. So
That's pretty impressive. He must be in shape. I'm just guessing.
yeah, yeah,
Um, okay. So then what is Sheffield minor hockey like? I guess you were more into roller until 13 years old then, eh?
yeah. So I played roller hockey out of a town called Rotherham, just in a little roller rink, kind of very close knit community. Everyone knew everyone, and it was all a good laugh. And then I started off in Sheffield with the juniors, which was brilliant. They were
Were you
welcoming
always a
from.
goalie then? Did you ever play out?
I started as a player at roller hockey. I've never been a player at ice, but
Right.
I played one season in like under eights. So
You
back
just knew
when I
you were a
was
goalie after
knee
1 year,
high,
eh? Yeah.
yeah, it were. I wanted to be a goalie from the start, but it pretty much took me the year to convince my dad to buy me the kit.
It'd be expensive, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then so you had only played hockey for a couple years, but the research team saw a Team GB for under 16 Riga Cup. Did you make Team GB like 2 years into hockey?
yeah. So it started off. I did the first year in Sheffield when I was like 13, 14 years old, and then the second season I played England under 15s, which we went to Turku in Finland for, and then that same year the Great Britain under 16s team put together a squad. We unfortunately didn't get to, I don't think we travelled that year. There was something happened and we didn't manage to make the trip, but the team was selected, and I must have only been playing somewhere between 1 and 2 years at that point.
That's crazy. Jeepers. So then how did your season go then your first year with I guess you call it senior hockey or men's hockey, the Blackburn Hawks? How'd that go?
That was brilliant. The standard of hockey was like more than enough for me to settle into senior hockey. The guys at Blackburn were all brilliant. We had a good relationships like we spoke about earlier on and off the ice. So good set of guys,
That's
good level of
important.
hockey. Yeah. Uh, Good coaching staff, good off ice team. So it was brilliant. It was you kind of make like a bit of a hockey family. So I suppose when you're playing, it's you're just having fun with your friends and playing the sport that you love, and then away from the ice, you can spend time with those people and not feel like you feel like they're your friends and not just like your teammates, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's important to make it feel like a family. It's like the girlfriends, the wives, children, like, and when people, I don't know, I always found it interesting. Like when my parents came over to Germany or to Cardiff, like they got right involved with my teammates or friends or like the fans. And then other parents would come over and, you really wouldn't even really know they were there around. And it's like a hockey family. You got to get everyone involved, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's 100%. It's yeah, like you say, you just got to make a big family and kind of go day by day and enjoy every minute of it.
That's all you can do. Yeah. And work
Yeah,
hard and play hard.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know what else I got other than I guess when you grew up in Sheffield, um, probably with a bunch of the same kids, but Tate Shudra, your last year in under 18, it said you didn't lose a game from what I saw, and he scored 40 goals in 16 games.
Yeah, I'm Tate's a good buddy in the GB trials that we were at just gone for the under 20s team. I shared a room with him. I speak to him often. He's a really good guy. He was at Blackburn with me last year too
Okay.
for a little bit. He kind of joined a little later into the season. Uh, so I've known Tate for years. His dad, Ron Shudra, I'm sure you know the name.
I've heard the name, so he was a Sheffield legend, and now his puppies are coming up and doing their own thing. Isn't it weird how genes are a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Could say that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Tate's a good lad. He always tries his hardest. Excuse me. I got to plug this laptop in because I don't want it to cut off on you.
Oh dear.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
Is that a
Tate's a
Manchester
good guy.
Storm hat? Why do I not have why do I not have any Manchester swag yet to wear in the shed? Can somebody ask Finner
We
for
got
me or like can somebody send me a gosh darn hat so I can wear it with pride? I'm a team sponsor and I got no swag, you know?
we got to get a storm hat in the shed. I think.
I agree. For sure we do. I should be wearing something about the
Yeah,
Storm in here
storm.
since I'm promoting the team, I'm sponsoring the team, and I'm doing my best to help. Right?
Yeah, a little logo wouldn't hurt.
Right? Just a hat, guys. Right? Just send me a hat or a shirt. I'll wear it with pride around here in Kincard in Canada. Everybody will know about the Storm. But no, like it's fun to get to know you guys. It's fun to get to know like your hockey family. Like I've had on Greg, the Greggy bus. I've had on Sam Bell, like I said, and then like the match night announcer, and then Jake, Shed director of marketing. And like you guys have a good hockey family around Manchester, don't you? Almost feel like I'm a part of it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's everything you'd want it to be.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess I don't really have anything other than I'd like to see Twix on the ice next time Manchester plays and wins at home, right? And against Cardiff here
yeah,
this weekend, folks. I'm just a hockey fan. I just want to see Shed guys compete and have fun. And I hope it gets really chocolatey in both arenas this weekend. Whoever wins wins, but let's throw some gosh darn chocolate, right?
yeah. Chocolate at the end, no matter. Everyone smiles that way.
You know what? Maybe it's even like an overtime game where both teams get a point and what all that jazz. Everybody can be happy, and then we'll all throw chocolate and be a hockey family, Shed family, right?
Yeah,
Don't forget your
sure,
Twix and Kit Kats, folks, right?
of course.
Well, thanks for making your debut trip to the Shed. After getting to know you, I'm gonna want to talk to you some more as I see your career play out because, um, geez, you're only 18. You got a lot of places to go and do cool things, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, I really appreciate you having me on.
Well, thanks for
It's
signing those kids' pucks. You earned it.
been a lot of laughs.
Well, sorry I have to be so short today. It's a real
No,
world
no,
calling. I got to get back
definitely.
into it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with O Dog and Wally. I don't.